we're sitting in a senior management meeting and talking about the billions of dollars that we spend with the trade in promoting our product. And it became very clear that there are some subsidiaries around the world that do a really good job of that, and other subsidiaries which struggled with that. And so it was quickly decided that we needed to come up with a global best practice on how to manage trade promotions. And then once we come up with a global best practice, we would develop some systems that would help enable the subsidiaries around best utilizing that. And it was creating an ROI mindset, so that as you look at different promotions, you're taking a snapshot of what the business looked like before, the action or event that you took, and then what the end result was of that. And did you create a win-win situation? A win-win situation is when the customer increases revenue and we increase revenue at the same time. So we agreed to put together a global workshop. So we brought 30 people in from around the world representing various subsidiaries of different sizes, different regions of the world, representing different go-to-market channels. Brought those groups together and talked about best practices. How do you do trade promotions? We also brought in a consulting firm to help us with this. And the end result of that was, after several weeks, we documented what we believed were global best practices around managing trade spend. Then we spent the better part of 6 months building a system to help support those best practices. And then we started prototyping. So we picked Mexico and Canada and the United Kingdom as the 3 subsidiaries where we were going to start to test the new process, as well as test the system that was going to enable this new process. The net of the savings opportunity is several $100 million a year we are saving and being able to redeploy. Some of that money goes to the bottom line. Some of that money gets reinvested with our customers on newer promotions. We now have 17 subsidiaries around the world representing 72% of our gross to net spend. So it's been pretty successful. So one key lesson is that get everybody together in one place for at least 2 weeks and make sure that that group that you get together is a good representation of the user community that you're going to be servicing. I think that's a critical lesson learned. The other one is that you do prototyping. So you take the requirements that you get and you put it in front of them. So you actually let them see what it is they're going to get. And you pick 1 or 2 subsidiaries to try it out first so that you can have a real live experience of how the users use the system, how the system interacts, what the performance looks like. We had an example when our first prototype, the performance was terrible. So when we did it in a test environment with a few promotions, it ran fine. As soon as we had 20 users in a subsidiary start to enter it, I mean, the performance started to crawl. And then we had to bring our partner in, IBM, to work with us on using the Blade technology to speed things up. Had we not done this prototyping and picked a subsidiary, we would have rolled this out to 17 countries at once, or figuratively, and we would have had a massive problem on our hands. So doing the prototype and then doing the cycles. Giving a certain amount of functionality, getting the learning, adding functionality, getting the learning and adding the functionality, as opposed to having a development cycle which takes maybe 2 years before the users finally see some, and then hope that you got it right.